What is up guys, welcome back to another SP Vids video. In this one, again, we're on the SP404sx, the cornerstone of my studio. And in this video, I'm going to touch on a topic I've talked about before. It's subsonic and using subsonic to make bass. But in this one, I'm going to actually show you how you can resample and get individual bass notes so that you can use them on your SX and other samplers or in your digital audio workstation as well. Just quickly before we start, don't forget there's still 10% off on beat packs in my store. Head to spvids.com and use lockdown 10. That's going to go for the whole of the England lockdown that I'm currently in at the moment, lockdown V2. And there's also SP dials on there as well, so if you guys want to pick those up and customize your SP, go ahead and have a look at those. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and let's crack on with this one, and I'll show you how to get some bass notes on your beats. Right guys, so here we are at the 404sx, and I've got a couple of samples loaded in here. They may have already been used for a different video, but for the sake of this one, they're going to work absolutely fine as well. So I've got some drums, and here's the samples. Just a little 2-chop sample loop that I've been playing around with. So yeah, nothing special, none of the leveling's done or anything yet on this, but it's going to work fine for this example. So as I said, I've talked through subsonic before and showed you how to use it sort of on the fly in a live kind of context. But in this one, what I'm going to show you is how to resample the bass notes out so you've got them on the pad. So let's go ahead and use this chop here, chop 1. So we're going to apply subsonic, which is 23. As you can see, we can't hear anything yet. And what we want to do is bring that threshold, which is the center dial, we want to bring that threshold right down. And as you can see now, we're getting the bass note. We're going to turn the balance to full. So that means all we're getting is the bass then. We're not getting the sample. If you turn the balance the other way, you only get the sample. As you can see, it kind of fades in the bass note. So what we want is the full bass note in there. Also, note-wise, you can change as well. So let's say we want that note. I don't know if the SP actually does this, but every time I seem to apply this to the note, these notes on this dial seem to be in key. I don't know if that's an actual thing. Maybe I'll look it up and put a note on afterwards, but it seems like you can choose multiple notes and they all seem to be in the kind of the right key. So what I'm going to do is resample this now. So resample record, and I'm going to go onto pad 5. The MFX is on, and I'm just going to press record, and now it's armed, ready to go, and it's saying which pad you want to record. It's flashing. I'm going to go 1. And I just used the sustain note there because it doesn't actually matter if you have a long note and you're using gate, because you can just use your touch to decide how long it lasts for. So like this, if you can see. So there we go, we've got one bass note there as well. So let's sample another one. So this one's going to be a different pitch. Didn't do that one for quite as long. I probably could have done that for longer just in case I needed longer, but for this example it should be okay. So there we go, we've got 2 notes there now. So we go back to the sample, we turn the MFX off, and we're going to have to adjust the levels of these because they're very loud. So there we go, we've got the 2 bass notes there now. Now they might not be perfectly correct to the pitch of the sample. You might have to do a little bit of experimentation with the left-hand dial to get those spot on. But as you can see there, I've managed to resample 2 bass notes. So the great thing about this is you don't have to actually keep them in the SP. You could use these for your MPC as well. So if you had that note and you sampled it into your MPC, you could then use 16 levels to be able to do scales as well, which is really, really cool. And obviously, yeah, you could just drop that into your DAW as well and use simpler. If you're in Ableton, you could drop that note into simpler and then have a full bass line. Or you could, you know, if you want to stick to the SP way of doing things, you could sample multiple notes and use those in your DAW as well. Another way, if you want to stay inside the SP and make a DAW-less beat, is that you can obviously use the pattern maker to create your beat, and then you can use these different notes to create full bass lines. So if you wanted to resample that into a different bank, you could have up to 12 notes of bass, so you could have the full chromatic scale in there, and then you could use the pads to tap out a bass line as well underneath your beat. So there's a lot of potential with that once you've got the bass notes on individual pads. Super handy stuff. So yeah, I think this is quite a common theme of lo-fi. There isn't much low end, and that can be solved with the SP404sx. So we've got what we need inside the box. I'm guilty of it as well. I really want to start using more low end. So this is a definite way into it. It's kind of a gateway into using sub and bass notes in your beats, and it can really pad out your beat as well. So not very much to it at all. Just use MFX23. I do that by holding MFX DJ Looper at the same time and then hitting 11. That gives you access to 13 to 24. So yeah, those two buttons and 11, and you've got sub on. Balance all the way up. Threshold really low, so it's definitely going to fire, and then use the left dial to adjust the note. So a nice quick little tip for you there, guys, and something that you should definitely look at doing, getting more bass and low end into your beats. I hope this is helpful. If you've got any further questions, obviously, as usual, just leave a comment below. And that's it for today's video. I'll be back very soon with more content. Keep making beats, and don't forget to check out SP Vids in order to support me. And also, if you like my content, check out the membership as well, because there's certain perks that you can get for paying a small monthly fee. Peace!